Hello. I think I'm live. Hello, everybody. This is a very unusual broadcast because usually at this time on a Friday, yes, focus please, thank you. This time on a Friday, I would be releasing a video that I pre-recorded. That's not happening this week for two reasons. Firstly, I made a video earlier in the week about, hey, people are here. I made a video earlier in the week about the situation, to use Noelle's word, in the world right now, and things are happening so fast and changing so fast that by yesterday, that video wasn't really relevant anymore. So I decided just to come online and just have a chat and be together and talk about it if we want to, and just connect and be together if not. We've also got another purpose though, which is that the Foundations Reveal competition is on right now, and we have been voting, the members have been voting over the last 2 weeks. Anyone can comment on all the entries, there are 47 entries. The members have been voting and we have finalists to announce tonight. The vote just closed an hour ago and I have to announce the finalists, which I have in front of me. Now, over the next week, our guest judge is going to be looking at these finalists and deciding on who's going to be the winner, the second place person and third place person. And that guest judge is our meme mom, Carolina Zabrowska. So that will happen in the next week. But for now, I have 3 finalists in each category. So I will just say hi to a few people before we do that. So I'm recognizing a lot of names. I'm scrolling up. Hello, Bernadette, I should say first of all. We have greatness among us. Let's see. Bianca D'Angelo, hello. I thought I saw some names of some people who entered the competition here. I know I've seen them. Let's see, who did I see? Roseanne Hamilton, I see you here. You entered the competition. You don't have to be a member of Foundations Real, by the way, to enter the competition. You're the only member I see so far. You're the only person who entered. So hi Kentucky, hi Sweden, hi Ireland, Indiana. I saw a North Carolina as well, Nevada, Montana, Germany. Let's see, Southern Ireland. I was in Southern Ireland a week ago. Louisiana, Lafayette. Let's see, Colorado. Hello, Colorado. Yeah, hello, everybody. Welcome here. Welcome. Slovenia, even. Canada, Finland, Greece, Scotland, Oregon, New Orleans, Ottawa, Spain, Oklahoma, Russia, Ohio, Denmark. Oh, Kitty's here. Hello, Kitty. Kitty entered too. Gosh, you're all telling me where you are now. Lithuania, Dorset, Kansas, Armenia, Switzerland, Czech Republic. My word, the whole world is here. Hi from self-quarantine in Pennsylvania. Well done, you. Well done, everybody who is in self-quarantine. We'll talk more about that. And Leon is in Nottingham, just down the road. So, hello, everybody, wherever you are. We are going to get into some announcements of finalists. So I have my tea next to me. I've got to be careful not to strain my voice. But I want to know in the comments, have you looked at the competition entries on Foundations Revealed, and what did you think? We had some incredible entries this year. We had 47 entries. Catherine Sutton is here. Catherine entered too. They are glorious. They are, Bernadette, yes. So we have to announce 15. Well, we had 5 places for 15 finalists. We have 14 finalists, in fact. We have 3 finalists in each category. We have 5 categories based on skill level. So you can, so we split the competition up into 5 categories based on people's sewing skills, because clearly You don't want somebody who just started sewing 3 weeks ago to be competing against somebody who's been sewing for 30 years. So we have 5 categories to break down the skill levels, right through from beginner to apprentice, intermediate, experienced, and advanced. So whatever your skill level, whatever your experience in sewing, you have a chance of winning a prize. So we've got, hey, Barbara's here. Barbara Paix from Royal Black, one of our mentors at Foundations, is here. So hello, Barbara. I'm just, again, looking at, it's very difficult to speak and look at the comments at the same time, but I'm trying. I'm doing my best. Barbara says, I've read every single one, such incredible concepts, and they are. Our theme this year was renewal, and specifically the idea was to, hello, Paula entered too. The idea was to use, if you can, upcycled fabrics and materials, and with a theme of upcycling, to make something that signified renewal. So I wish I could share my screen and show you these entries as I announce them, but I'm not sure I can do that through YouTube. I think I'll be able to. Let me hit that button there. No, I can share this live stream, but I can't share my screen. So I will have to just, I'll have to just tell you what they are and you can see them at your leisure. So without further ado, oh good, the video started right when Noemi's tea was ready. That's good. That's always good. So yes, I need to announce winners. Finalists. So in our beginner category, we only had 2 entries, so both of them are finalists. So Silver Switcheroo by Zoe Beatty and Spring is a Pattern by Liz McCord. You are both finalists. You will both now go through, and there will be a first and second place, but you both win. I particularly want to pay tribute to anybody who enters in the beginner category, because that's a very early stage when you're still very new to sewing and a little bit unsure. So it's a really brave thing to enter your work in a competition when you're new. So huge props to Zoe and Liz for entering in the beginner category. Link to the competition. Yes, that's a good idea. That would be a fantastic idea, in fact. Let me go and do that right now. It's foundationsrevealed.com/competition/2020-competition, and I will link that in the comments. Here it is. So you can go and look from there. So those are the beginner finalists. Zoe Beatty and Liz McCord, both of the beginners are going through as finalists. Apprentices. Applause to the brave hatchling. Yes, indeed. In the apprentice category, we had, how many entries did we have in the apprentice category? We had quite a lot. So these are people who aren't brand new to sewing, but it's still a pretty early stage when you're still figuring it out. So I'm just waiting for that page to load. An apprentice officially has made their first couple of successful projects, and now they're practicing and refining core skills. So that is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 brave apprentices entered, and our finalists, and I know at least one of them is here. Catherine Sutton, are you in the house? Catherine Sutton is a finalist. Catherine Sutton entered with a fabulous outfit called Arcadian Shepherdess, an 18th century outfit with many different pieces in it. It was the most elaborate thing she's ever entered. She has entered before, but this was her best and biggest entry ever. So congratulations, Catherine. You are a finalist. We also have Bridget by Rosanne Hamilton, who is also here. I've seen her name in the chat roll. So that was, Bridget had the fantastic Celtic knotwork corset. Yay, Catherine's here. So Rosanne is also a finalist. And our third finalist in the apprentice category is Shedding Snake by Jeske van der Mees. I think I pronounced that correctly. And Shedding Snake was the beautiful entry that symbolized renewal when she's I believe, if I remember correctly, she's had a scary health diagnosis lately. So she is feeling a sense of renewal and having to become someone new. So Shedding Snake was a very poignant and meaningful entry and a beautiful piece of work. So congratulations to Catherine and Rosanne and Jeske. And you are our 3 finalists in the Apprentice category who will go through now. Yes, Shepherdesses, Celtic Knotwork and Snakes. Yes, exactly. So now we can go on to the intermediate category. We also have at least one intermediate entrant in the chat roll here. So in order, by the way, these are in no particular order. I'm doing them in the order they appear on the page. So I'm not telling you how many votes anybody got or anything like that. Intermediate category, our finalists are, first of all, Kintsugi Vase by Catherine Lamb, who is one of our Irish entrants. Kintsugi Vase was based on the idea of the Japanese art of kintsugi, in which when something is broken, it's repaired with gold paint in the cracks, so that the broken item becomes more meaningful when you make a feature of the fault or the crack or the broken place. So that's Kintsugi Vase by Catherine Lamb. The second finalist, yes, Lucy Emke. Hello, Lucy. She's an entrant too. This was my favourite in the category, she says. Piping Goals. Yes. Where can one see the entries? I will paste that in again. This is the link to all the entries. So the first intermediate finalist was Kintsugi Vase. The second finalist in the intermediate category is The Silver Lily by Kitty Mortensen, who won in that category last year, I believe, if I remember correctly. Kitty had a fantastic entry that, if you watch the video she entered, it was a jacket that she removed and then the skirt sort of fell out and it was like a transformation costume that you might have seen on stage, where it's one thing and then it changes into something else, which is just astounding. You make sure if you go and look at Kitty's entry, The Silver Lily, that you watch that little video. That was incredible. The reveal, yes, the reveal is incredible. So well done, Kitty. She's right there in the chat. So do congratulate Kitty. So we have, that's 2 finalists. We have a third. The third finalist in the intermediate category is The Phoenix by Ilea Sibel. So that was an incredible entry, which is all fiery colours. She has a fascination with dragons and phoenixes, and that was an entry with a lot of movement in these beautiful photos. So congratulations to Ilea too. So in the intermediate category, the finalists are Catherine Lamb, Kitty Mortensen, and Ilea Sibel. So I want to pay tribute, as we talk about the finalists, to all of the entrants. It is an incredible, brave act to enter a competition. So all of you are winners. It is a formality to have finalists and winners and all the rest of it. But I do want to make sure we pay tribute to the people I'm not mentioning by name as well. So, oh no, website's showing errors. I'm sorry about that. So they'll still be there later. So experience. The fourth category is in experience. Yes, the link isn't working, possibly because it's getting overwhelmed with the number of people. There are 437 people watching this live right now, so it may be that you're all crashing the site. So I'm sorry about that. You can go back and look later. They'll still be there. So the experience category, the first finalist in the experience category, this is a category where we're now getting into a place where the entrants are very experienced in what they do. They're very confident in their skills and very creative and trying new things. So the first, sorry, I'm getting distracted by comments at the same time as I'm talking. The first finalist in the experience category is After Ragnarok by Julia Elstring, who is one of our Swedish entrants. And she did the fabulous entry with the huge lapels on it. It paid tribute to Nordic legend, and it had these incredible lapels covered in French knots. So incredible embroidery and artistry on that one. So thank you very much, Julia, and congratulations. The second finalist in the experience category is Creative Rebirth by Paix Bicknell, which was also an entry with a wings. It was a sort of monarch butterfly, a theme in lots of very rich reds and oranges. I believe, if I remember correctly, she bought an old prom dress from a charity shop and used that to create this incredible couture creation. It was incredible. So congratulations to Papaya. And finally, the final finalist in the experience category is Persephone by Lena Piperek, who is also referencing myth and legend with Persephone there. So that was also a very elegant, darkly coloured entry. Let me look again. It was the one with the roses, I believe. Yes, with these beautiful roses down the front of it. So Persephone is our final finalist in the experience category. So congratulations to Julia, Popea, and Lena, who are our finalists in the experience category. It's worth saying at this point also that you don't have to be a paying member of Foundations Reveal to enter the competition. So after this competition is over, the members will be picking the theme for next year, and you have a full year to enter. So you can look forward to that. So finally, our final category is the advanced category. And this is the place where people who are pros, or if they're not pros, they at least could be if they wanted to be, who are doing the most incredible work that's way out off the edge of the envelope and really pushing the boundaries of what's possible. So our first finalist in the advanced category is In Nature by Marlo Stadswell, who is an extraordinary embroiderer, and who I believe her entry was based on jellyfish and natural history, and it was extraordinary orange silk and covered in embroidery. That was an incredible entry. The second finalist in the advanced category, and I know she is here, Lucy Emke, Lizard Person Realness, possibly the most ridiculous fabric ever created. She made a lizard-themed, reptile-themed entry, which was beautifully modelled by Morgana, and it was incredible. Oh, we've got some very interesting people coming onto this live. Hang on a minute. Let's see if we can do something about that. Bear with me a moment. Bear with me. We've got some rather... Okay. Morgana, as in... I don't know how to pronounce it. Threnodian Velvet. Very famous, well-known corset model. Let's see. Yes, General Lee's been hidden. Yes, I'm not in a position where I can have somebody doing this sort of moderator stuff for me while I talk, so bear with me while I try and... Okay. I think we're there now. Okay. Yes, I've selected them and blocked them individually, so okay, I think we're free of politics now. So it's all part of the excitement of live streams. Okay. So, I've got one more finalist to announce. We've got In Nature by Marlo Stadswell, we've got Lizard Person Realness by Lucy Emke, and our final finalist in the advanced category is The Tree of Life by Carly van Groningen. And that was an extraordinary entry with the most beautiful stop motion video demonstrating it had there was a tree growing out of the outfit, and she had made a stop motion animation video where you saw blossom appear on the tree and then die, and the leaves fell, and it went through. This tree goes through the 4 seasons, so it's an extraordinary entry. So make sure you go and see that one. So that is our 14 finalists. So thank you for bearing with me while I read out that huge list. So, okay, so you can go back later and see who the finalists were if you weren't here for the whole of that. But now that we've talked about finalists, there's something else we ought to talk about. Yes, thank you, Mimi. That's a very good comment. The talent and effort in this competition makes me want to cry. It's all so beautiful. It's extraordinary, yes. I'm so grateful that people enter this competition every year and are willing to put in all of that effort and have the courage to enter and the courage to put themselves out there. That's what it's really all about. It's finding the courage to be creative in the world. And that's really what I talk about all the time on this channel. So thank you everybody for entering, and we look forward to hearing about the winners next week. That will be a live stream right here. It will be Thursday next week, not Friday, and I will be here, Karolina Zabrowska will be here announcing the winners. Gemma, our editor, will be here, and Barbara, Luca, and Luana, our mentors. So that is going to be a huge party on my YouTube channel for Foundations Revealed winners. So, how can you find out what sewing level you're on, Teresa? If you go to foundationsrevealed.com/competition, you can see there's a PDF, there's a link to a PDF download with the competition rules from this year. And within the rules document, there's a breakdown of what the different skill categories mean. You can also look at the top of each category page this year, and it has a brief description of this is what intermediate is, this is what apprentice is. And you'll have the opportunity to enter in those categories again next year. Oh, Jenny has a chair like mine, yes. This chair is meaningful to me because it was the first thing I ever owned that I remember thinking, that's mine and only mine. And nobody else, mum and dad can't fit in that chair. Only I can fit in that chair. So it was a big moment for me when I was about 2 or 3 years old. That was like, I'm an individual in my own right. So when my parents were downsizing a couple of years ago, they found that, and I said I want it. So it now sits in my study. So yes, congratulations to everybody. So while we're here, there's something else I want to talk about. There is something very big going on this week in the news, and I just want to check in with you all in general and say, how are you doing? Because we are living in weird and unusual times. And as I said earlier, I did make a video this week, as usual, the usual type of video that I make, talking about this and encouraging everybody to stay calm and do those small, simple things, the hand washing, the hand sanitizer, and all the rest of it. And it seemed like by yesterday, that advice was a little bit superficial. Things are changing really fast. So I just wanted to check in with you all because, it can make you a little bit anxious maybe. So, and nobody's quite sure what's happening. So I just wanted to check in and see how you are. Homesick with a bad cold. I'm sorry to hear that. So, let's see. Online learning specialist from University in the United States. Yes, we're going pretty nuts too. I mean, Foundations Revealed is an online learning resource, and I'm hearing that there are some costume departments in universities who are saying, so those free articles at Foundations Revealed and Your Wardrobe Unlocked could be useful right now, because they're sending all their students home and thinking, what do we do now? Okay, So Dutchy here, I was let know by my manager I won't be able to go to work until the 31st of March. Yeah, my introvert self is cheering loudly. Yes, those of us who are introverts, we've been training our whole lives for this. So if you're creative, you could see this. You could see this as an opportunity. What if this was an opportunity to get some things done that you've been wanting to get around to? I know that there have been so many books and so many projects that I've wanted to get to, and now we've got the opportunity to kind of stay in and do those things. So, I mean, it's a time to stay calm, not panic, not panic buy. Um, it's a time to I'm thinking I'm here in, I'm here in Britain. Um, I'm going into voluntary self quarantine, that kind of social distancing thing, I think seems to be important. Um, I think it's a good time to take precautions and stop the spread. Um, I think for most of us, it's not going to be a big deal, even if we catch the virus, because most of us are fairly healthy and it's not going to be too serious an illness, but there are people in society who are going to be affected and are going to be more seriously affected. So, our responsibility, my perspective, and from my reading, is that yes, use common sense. From my reading, it seems like the sensitive and sensible thing to do right now is to limit how much you're getting out and about, limit your contact with other people, just so that we can slow this thing down. Because not because we're afraid of other people, not because we're all going to panic and think that, it's the apocalypse, but just because it's a service to our healthcare providers to slow it down as much as we can, because it's going to grow really when it gets going, it grows really fast, and it has done. We've seen that happen in other countries, in China and in Italy. So the more we can slow the spread, the more we can spread out the burden on healthcare providers when they're needed to treat the people who are most affected by it. So I'm going for the whole social distancing thing, even though our Prime Minister in the UK is like, yeah, just wash your hands, it's fine. Um, I think it's a good time to sort of be a leader and not be afraid to be a bit cautious about how much you get out and do. Um, yeah, I'm okay, Leon. Yeah, but I've got some travel booked in the next month or so that I'm thinking I might not do after all. Um, it's a good time to maybe be cautious. Um, let's see. So yes, pasta's sold out everywhere. Same with rice. Yeah. Yes, good idea, Christine. Follow the CDC, follow the WHO, not the politicians. Yeah, I mean, the politicians are, in a way, just like the rest of us. They're not health experts. They're trying to figure out what to say, not to cause panic. Um, so it's probably a good idea to get informed, but at the same time as you're probably like me, doing your research, reading what's going on online. It's important to remember that there's a difference between being informed and being inundated. Know what you need to know, but don't let yourself get into an anxious state about it. Remember to step away from the internet sometimes and just enjoy being your little introvert self. Stay informed, but don't let yourself get inundated, because if you feel that your anxiety is starting to rise, it's time to just calm it down and step away for a while. It's important for your health. One of the important things that you can do that's not really being talked about, and I put this on my Facebook feed today, is to look after your health. You can look after your immune system right now. You can put yourself in a good position. Take your vitamins, eat green stuff, because the stronger your immune system right now, the better position you're going to be in if and when you do catch it. It's not going to affect you as badly if you're stronger. So get the window open, get some fresh air, eat your greens, look after yourself. And it's not just about diet, it's about get lots of sleep right now. Get lots of rest. Sleep is one of the most important things. Hydrate. Drink lots of water. You want to be drinking a couple of liters of water a day. That for me it's all about the tea for me. And I mean herbal tea. But in addition to all the hand washing and all the rest of it, think in terms of keeping yourself as healthy as you can and keeping your loved ones as healthy as you can. Eat your greens. And relax and connect. Stay connected. I mean, we may be doing the social distancing and staying home, but the internet is a wonderful thing. Use it. And it's going to be easy as this thing develops and we're all staying at home more and more. We're going to get a bit isolated. We're going to go a bit stir crazy. So an important thing right now is to stay connected like this. That's why I'm doing this tonight. I want us to feel like we're all together and we're all in this together. It's tempting to start to feel afraid of the outside world and anxious about the outside world. And we've got to remember that we are all fellow travelers on this journey. We're all in this together. So we need to stay connected online and stay in touch with each other, check in with each other, hang out with each other. I mean, we're talking at Foundations, we're talking about putting together a hangout place like this so people can just get together and be live online with each other. Use WhatsApp, use the WhatsApp live calls and get together with people online and make sure that you're staying connected and staying sane. Because even though we're all introverts, this is a conversation Bernadette and I had the other night. We are huge introverts, but at the same time, we kind of also have to admit, and it's uncomfortable to admit, we kind of need other people as well. We kind of need to connect. You kind of need to connect with people and talk about how you're feeling and talk about how this is affecting you. So stay healthy. And stay healthy emotionally as well as physically. So let me just look at some comments as they scroll past. I'm talking and talking. Okay. Oh, Tatiana, yes, locked at home in Italy for quarantine. Can't put my head together to do anything creative. That is understandable. Tatiana, you are in sort of the epicenter of what's going on. It's a scary place to be in Italy right now. I was talking to a friend of mine who is an online business owner in Italy right now, and it's a kind of a scary place to be. So don't beat yourself up right now if you're not finding it easy to concentrate on stuff. It's a good time to just relax and stay connected with friends online. Pick up the phone and talk to people. Don't beat yourself up for whatever you're doing or not doing right now, or whether you're being productive. Right now, part of your health, part of keeping yourself healthy while you're in quarantine, part of keeping yourself healthy is keeping yourself calm and happy. So do what you need to do. If that is watching box sets, if that's watching TV, if that's watching your favorite show, if it's being online like this and connecting, that's what you need to do. Part of staying healthy is staying emotionally healthy. It's all connected. Mind, body, spirit is all connected. So it's all about staying calm as well. So, I mean, I've been getting frustrated too. I started the week with this amazing to-do list and I was being so productive. I was crossing stuff off. And then yesterday morning, I read an article that was like, boom, wow, okay, this is not like a fuss over nothing anymore, right? There was a moment when I got it that this is a big deal. And it's been a little bit unsettling ever since to try and deal with this. So it's okay to not be sort of using this time productively. Don't beat yourself up for that. Just do what you need to do to stay happy and healthy. And anything productive that you do is a bonus. If you can do small things to stay calm, sewing is a great thing to do to stay calm if you can, if you want to. But don't make it into a productivity thing. Use it as an opportunity to do things that you wouldn't usually get around to doing, but make everything you do a bonus. Okay, so let's see. I'm looking at comments still. Yeah. I'm going to read out what Bernadette said. Quarantine can suck, but it can also be an amazing opportunity to give yourself permission to do what you want for yourself. This is that one day when I have time moment that we've been waiting for. Yeah. It's time to pick up that guitar and learn to play it. It's time to teach yourself to sew if you've been meaning to. It's time to, I have shelves full of sewing books that I've only ever flicked through. It's time to start reading some of them. Consuelo Vispo, here in the Basque Country in Spain, they've just declared the health emergency. I saw that. I'm a crochet lover, and I have to admit I'm looking forward for this time to finish some projects. Yeah. It's okay. Whatever you're feeling about this situation, it's okay to feel that way. It's okay to privately have that feeling of, there's kind of an upside to this because I get to stay at home and crochet or sew or read. Use this time. This is going to be a time that you're going to remember. We have a choice in this situation. We can come out of this better. We can come out of this worse. We can come out of this better people. We can come out of this worse people. This is like, I feel like it's a bit of that, we in Britain call it the Blitz spirit. It reminds us of back in World War II when it was a sense of everybody just coming together and supporting each other in a difficult time. So it's a good time. It's a good time to decide who we're going to be in difficult times. How are we going to treat each other? Who are we going to be as families, as friends, as communities? Who are we going to be in this situation? So, it's a good time to look to people you look up to for guidance. I'm looking to, I have my mentors that I'm hanging on their every word right now because I value their opinion and their perspective on what's going on. So, don't be slow to look to people like, say, the first person that comes to mind when I'm talking about this is I'm like, I wonder what Marianne Williamson is saying about this. So don't be afraid to look for perspective and come together. Jenny, I'm going to make some time to do some painting. Yeah. And Blue Goddess, yes, it's a world reset. I read a great article today in The Guardian about how this could be a time when a lot of things change. It's times like this when things change, sometimes for the better. There was a time, I think she was talking about a time during, was it World War II? I don't want to quote this one. I can't remember the details, but it was talking about things like the way that society changed after World War I, because the women had to go into the factories and replace the men who had gone to war. And after the war ended, they didn't want to give up those jobs. One of the ironically positive outcomes of the two world wars in the last century was women's rights took a jump because we proved that we're capable. So things can change. There's people talking about how maybe that 5-day week will become a 4-day week. Maybe there will be more emphasis on how valuable it is to work online and work from home. Yes. Yeah. Those of us who know older skills will be a bit better off than those who are so plugged in, says Elizabeth. Yes, possibly. People who grow their own vegetables. I'm jealous of you right now. At the same time, I'm also hugely valuing the fact that I have an online business. We're carrying on pretty much as before. Whereas people like Red Threaded, who sell corsets, people like American Duchess, who sell shoes, they're kind of anxious right now because people stop buying when they're scared. People stop buying when there's an anxious situation. So this is a good time to support small business. Yes, all shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. Yes. Medicare for all in the US, perhaps? Yeah, we could see that perhaps the healthcare situation changes. It's not really predictable what's going to happen. So we'll wait and see. And it's an interesting time. It's an interesting time to watch how we develop as a society and who we become as humans and how we treat each other and what we decide about ourselves as a result of this. Let's see. I'm looking through comments again. Yes, computers, social media, and Netflix are my friends right now. Anne with an E, just saying. I'm really enjoying Anne with an E right now. I'm a big fan of Anne of Green Gables. I'm also rather stressed, says Emma, about whether or not the grocery store down the road will close or not because it's quite small. I've been wondering about this as well, and I've been looking to what's happening in Italy because I don't know where you are, Emma, but Italy is certainly a few weeks ahead of the UK. And I'm noticing that in Italy, even though everything's on lockdown, you're not supposed to go out and the shops and restaurants are closed, but the things that are staying open are pharmacists and grocery stores. So you can still go out and get medication and get food. So I think that the food should be all right for the time being. So, for example, Tatiana in Italy says we have everything in supermarket. So I think that things like essentials like food and medicine should stay available. I have, for example, I have my groceries delivered once a week. I don't go to the supermarket. I have an online organic local farm delivery kind of service. And my delivery is finalized on a Monday night and they deliver it on Wednesday. So I'm like, is that still going to happen on Wednesday? Because things are developing fast. But I think looking at how things are panning out in Italy, I think we're going to be all right as long as people aren't panic buying, as long as we're sensible about how much we're buying. So our supermarkets are out of hand sanitizer and getting low on toilet rolls. Buy a B-Day, everybody. Okay. Yeah, Michelle, right now in Congress, they're discussing emergency UBI. This could be something that moves America forward in a tremendous way. Yeah. There can be upsides in crisis situations. These can be situations in which everybody gets a reset and we think again. So, yeah. 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 Hello to Joni. Rainbow Curve Costume, yes. Rainbow Curve Costuming. I think countries will try to keep food coming as long as they can. Yeah. Well, that's one of the essentials we've got to keep going. So, it's like, don't go out for dinner right now, necessarily. Well, I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but my strategy right now is from what I can see, from what I'm reading, it looks like it's a good time to maybe limit how much we're going out and having contact with people. One of the things I was saying in the video that I was going to release this week was when you're reading around online and trying to find information, look for the underlying feeling in what you're reading. There are some things that you can read online or on social media that seem sort of fueled by panic or fueled by emotion, the high emotion. Those are the things to sort of to take with a pinch of salt. If you're reading things that seem measured and sensible and are backed up by, I mean, it's something you've sort of got to judge with your intuition, but look for sources that are talking in a very measured way, in a very sensible way. Look for places where the emotion isn't so heightened. That's what I'm going with when I'm reading around and trying to find out what's going on. Hello, Oma. Yeah, delivered food. Yeah, I think food delivery is a great idea. I've been using it for a while now, and it's certainly great for people who are elderly or infirm in some way, or just busy. Yeah, cross-reference your own research, and I mean looking to sources you trust. I'm reading a lot in the Guardian and the Independent right now, so that's my preferred source, and and the BBC. So, and trusting people, looking to leaders that I trust. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Scary things are happening in some countries. Yeah, scary things happening in Russia apparently. Yes. Yes, that's a good idea. Don't go out for dinner, but do buy vouchers for your favourite independent restaurants to help them not go under. Yes, it's a good idea to just think about protecting yourself, but also think about small businesses right now. And when this all starts to fade away and we go back to normal, do be ready to start supporting the heck out of all the independent small businesses. Yes, fear can kill, love can heal. Yes, there was a wonderful quote I saw earlier this week that I was going to use in my video that I didn't release in the end. The end card was going to say, fear is a virus, take precautions. One of the most important things now is to be sensible, take sensible precautions, err on the side of caution with things like, as I say, I'm doing the social distancing, even though officially the UK authorities are saying, oh no, we don't need to worry about that. I'm doing it because I think it would be a sensible measure to slow things down. But yeah, don't give in to that sort of big heightened emotional panicky fear, because that's not helping anybody. Fear is a virus. Don't let that virus spread. Yeah, I think it's thank you for thanking me for doing the live stream. I think it's important for us just to stay checked in right now. So just checking in with each other. Any ideas for home games for 5 weeks of Easter holiday with a 7-year-old? Wow, yes. I have a friend online called Dana Abraham, and she is currently doing a lot of lives on Facebook that are about, I believe her business is about helping parents to cope with children who have special learning needs or children who've been labeled as difficult, who have special needs or ADHD or who have their own special challenges. Her name is Dana Abraham, and I think she's doing lots of lives at the moment that are checking in and helping parents to keep things fun and light and connected, and how to deal with this with your kids. So I'm going to write her name in here and you can look her up if you have kids and you're looking for ideas. Good idea, Consuelo. I'm calling my grandpa every 2 days. He's in Argentina. Yes, he seems very happy every time he receives the call. Yeah, call your loved ones, especially grandparents, parents and grandparents. I'm going to be calling my parents this weekend, definitely. Any advice on learning remotely? All my uni classes have been moved online. Well, it's a lot. Oh, yes, just before I go to that, Sense and Sensibility Patterns, my good friend Jenny Chansey came out with a bunch of things on Instagram for kids. Yes, look up Jenny Chansey. She has 12 children, so she's a pro mother. Learning remotely. Yes, there are a lot of people now who are going to have to work from home, study from home, and that might be a whole new landscape for you. So it's going to be a case of learning to work the way that people who are used to working from home work. I keep it together by having a routine. One of the things that can be most useful right now, we have various needs as humans, and I was actually going to talk about this. There is a guy I admire a lot, I've been following for many years, called Tony Robbins, who you may or may not have heard of, who's big in the personal development world. And he talks about human beings having 6 major needs. Beyond food and clothing and all the rest of it. 6 human psychological needs, you might say. The first one of those is certainty. We need to have a certain amount of certainty in our lives and have a certain amount of predictability. When things get very unpredictable, like this, we get anxious. So one of the most useful things you can do right now, and one of the most things that's most useful when you're working from home and you're not used to it, is to have routine. You're used to having a routine where you go to work or you go to college at a certain time. And it's a good idea right now to just create a routine at home. What time are you going to get up? Still set the alarm. What time are you going to make sure you're up and ready to work by? Have a morning break, have a lunch break, have an afternoon break, and make sure particularly that you stop work at a certain time. It's very easy to stress yourself out by just working and working and working and working into the evening, and that doesn't work so well. So do have a routine. So particularly now, it's like if you've got children. Anybody who's brought up, I'm not a mother, so I hugely admire anybody who's a parent. But one of the things that is useful when bringing up children is you try to get them into a routine. You try to bring routine into their life so that there's a predictability and a certainty, and there's a certain sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a security, there's a sense of security that comes with routine. So if you're working from home and you're not used to it, put together a routine, even write it down, and have times when you do certain things. That might help. Also, the second human need is uncertainty. Paradoxically, we need certainty in our lives, but we also need a bit of uncertainty because otherwise things get boring. So a good way to address uncertainty right now is do something different. Go and get I've ordered treacle tart on my grocery list, which was something I used to eat as a kid. I've just ordered a couple of treats. Not a good thing to eat sugar right now if you're building your immune system, but I have ordered a couple of treats too that remind me of childhood, because they're unusual and they're out of the ordinary, so it feels like a treat and like this is a special time. But at the same time, it's a very secure thing that makes me think of childhood. One of my mentors today was talking in a very, gave me a very useful analogy for this time. She says, what it is right now, we're having a 2-month snow day. That's it. It's just a 2-month snow day. And that's how we have to treat it. It's a snow day, everybody. Stay in, get what you need, get the supplies you need, stay indoors, make some stuff, and that sort of analogy. Okay, we need somebody else to get rid of here. Excuse me. I think we're going to go for about an hour. We're going to go for about another 5 minutes, I think somebody's asking. So certainty and uncertainty. Love and connection, the third human need. Stay connected. We might be social distancing, but stay connected online. And we'll probably do more of these lives so that we can stay connected and keep this sense of connection, that we're all friendly and we're all in this together. We don't want this to be a situation where we're all panicking and getting afraid of each other. Significance is the fourth human need. So post online, don't isolate yourself. Tell us about how you're doing. Post on Instagram, post on Facebook. Tell us how you're doing. And finally, as well as certainty, uncertainty. I'm going through these quickly because I think this might stop after an hour. I think I might be thinking of Instagram lives, but it might stop after an hour. Certainty, keep a routine. Give yourself a routine for your snow day because it's going to be a very long snow day. Uncertainty, do something different. Make it into a special time. It's a snow day. Love and connection. Stay connected online. Call your relatives. Make sure everybody's doing all right. Significance. Make sure you're posting. Make sure you're telling people how you're doing. Make sure you're not isolating yourself. And finally, the fifth and sixth human needs are growth and contribution. We need to feel that we're growing, and we need to feel that we're contributing something to the world. So a good thing to ask yourself right now is, how can I help? How can you help? How can you support other people in this situation? Excuse me. That's not a coronavirus cough. That's just a sore throat from talking for an hour. So, Louise, there are cases in my town and my university closed today. Is it too early to really stay at home right now? I would say not. I would say it's not too early to stay home. I'm staying home right now, even though my country in the UK has not said anything about social distancing or staying home or locking everything down. From what I'm reading, it's a good idea just to distance yourself a little bit, if we keep a little distance and we don't get together in big groups, we slow down how fast the virus is spreading. I mean, there's no particular reason for most of us to be scared of catching it, because for most of us it won't be, much more than flu. But exactly, Delana, flatten the curve. I don't know whether you've seen those diagrams of a high curve, like the virus is going to spread and spread and spread and spread, and lots of people get it. But if we distance ourselves and stay home much more, and maybe even lock ourselves down, then we slow down how fast it's spreading. And that's important, because if it spreads fast, as fast as it has done in Italy and as fast as it did in parts of China, the hospitals get overwhelmed, and you end up with the people who are more vulnerable and who do need hospital care for this don't get the care they need, because the hospitals get overwhelmed with a lot of people getting it at once. So by distancing ourselves socially, we slow down how fast it's spreading, and we flatten that curve. So if we slow down how fast it's spreading, then people get it at a much slower rate, and fewer people have it at once, and our healthcare systems can cope then, and everybody will get the treatment they need. We've got to try and stop everybody getting it at once. So, yeah, Barbara's saying, I'm isolating myself at home since Tuesday as well, just to help slow it down. So, yeah, I don't know what you're doing, Leon. I know Leon Grayson is in Nottingham. I'm not far from Nottingham. As of yesterday, I've not left the house, and I'm just saying, for now, I'm taking as it comes. I've looked at my diary and I'm like, it's easy for me. I work from home anyway, so I don't do a lot of going out anyway. So it's not that hard for me to lock myself down for a week. So I'm kind of locking myself down a week, maybe two, and then just like seeing how it's going. So, just take it as it comes. It's a snow day. President Trump, I don't know whether those two words go together, but we're not going to get political, declaring a federal emergency in the US at noon Pacific time. Yeah, we'll see what he says. I'm interested to see. But yeah, get some sunlight, great idea, idiosyncratic. Getting some sunlight is great for vitamin D. It's one of the best ways you can protect yourself. As I was saying earlier, once one of the best things you can do for yourself, which I'm going to say, I said it earlier in the live stream, but just in case you weren't there, one of the best things you can do for yourself that isn't getting talked about very much, actually, is to keep yourself as healthy as you can. You know, if you bolster your immune system and get as healthy as you can right now, there are online yoga classes, ladies and gentlemen. There are online exercise classes you can do in your living room. You can open a window, get some fresh air, get some sunshine, you know, sleep in that patch of sunshine like your cat does. You know, sunlight is important. Get your vitamins, get your greens, you know, eat vegetables, eat a bit less sugar, you know, and it doesn't mean like you've got to put pressure on yourself to be perfectly healthy all the time, but every little you can do to make it easier for your body to fight anything you might get, you know, and that's not just diet, that's getting sleep, it's resting, it's keeping the anxiety level down, you know. Hang on, do we have somebody we need to remove again? Yeah, get lots of rest. Apologies for the less savory people in the comments. There's not a lot I can do about it except stop them when they arrive. What was I saying? So yes, part of health. Excuse me for repeating myself, just in case people weren't here earlier. Part of health is not just eating your greens. Get lots of sleep, relax, watch a movie, have a little fun with it. Treat it as a snow day. Don't panic. You know, hydrate, drink lots of water, drink lots of herbal tea. Look after your grandparents. You know, call those relatives, make sure they're doing all right. Yeah, they're changing names. I'm on it. I don't have moderators right now, but I'm immunodeficient with asthma. Symptom management is going to be key if you get this stuff. Yeah. So say, Jay, keep your immune system bolstered. You know, get your vitamins down. You get yourself as healthy as you can. Get lots of rest. Drink lots of water. You know, be your body's best friend at this time. Give it what it needs so it's strong. And in my case as well, I'm doing lots of yoga. I love yoga, and I do that online. Just keep yourself stretched out. I do lots of meditation, which just keeps you calm. I can recommend an app called Headspace, which is great for guided meditations. You can also just look on YouTube. You can find guided meditations. You don't have to sit there and like pretend to think of nothing. You can just play these meditations. Even like sometimes I just play meditation music around the house. Like you can find on YouTube just like 2-hour long recordings of meditation music that you can just play around the house, and it's like your house becomes a spa. You know, it's really cool, and it's really calming and a really easy thing you can do to just bring the anxiety level down. Do things you may not usually have time for, like building a puzzle. Yes. Trekkie. Yes. Headspace is amazing. Yes, lots of people like Headspace. No green juice. Yes, absolutely green juice. I'm a big fan of green juice and green smoothies. I didn't mention them because I know lots of people think that I'm a nutcase for doing that, but I'm a big fan of green juice. It's one of the best things you can do to get all the nutrients you need first thing in the morning. Okay. So, Rebecca, this situation is hell for my anxiety. I put away my phone to not be drawn to all the articles, just for my entire family to only talk about it. What could I do? Okay. So, yeah, tough when your whole family is talking about it and you want to just get away. What if you could get away and just have an hour to yourself? It's okay to say, look, this is stressing me out. Can we talk about something else for a while? I mean, it wouldn't be a terrible idea. Oh God, here he is again. All right, we'll have to stop this in a minute just to stop nasty people coming in. What was I even saying? What's my favourite green juice recipe? That's a good one. Favourite green juice recipe? At the moment, I have a green juicing box that gets delivered, and it has, right now, it has always seasonal ingredients. Right now it has kale, spinach, ginger. Ginger is a great thing to be eating right now. That's great for boosting your immune system. So is turmeric. Garlic is great right now. Have lots of garlic. If you're into garlic, great time to have garlic, even raw. Kale, I'm like talking about three things at once. Kale, spinach, ginger, lemon, cucumber, celery, apple, carrots. I think that's it. Parsley. That's what I put in my green juice at the moment. Hot peach juice with mint tea. Yeah, big mint tea fan over here. If you are on Facebook, look for my post today where I shared something by a bloke called Ross Bridgeford, who's an acquaintance of mine, who gave lots of great advice about the kind of foods that boost your immune system. I also like Food Matters. There's a website called Food Matters, who are also friends of mine, who are very good with the sort of alternative remedies and the, have more ginger, have more garlic. That's good for your immune system. Yeah, if you have lots of garlic, you don't need to think about keeping the distance to other. Perfect. Yes. Oranges and grapefruit. Yes, get lots of vitamin C down you. Good idea. Should we challenge one another to sew a project during quarantine? Well, good idea. We should be sewing together, shouldn't we? But as I was saying to Tatiana earlier, if you're feeling anxious, don't beat yourself up if you feel like, oh, I should be sewing all the things right now. I should be taking this opportunity and I'm not doing it because I'm anxious. Don't force yourself to do stuff, but this is a great time to be knitting, crocheting, sewing. Good on you, Nancy. So, yeah, keep talking to me. How are you doing? I mean, we've been on for over an hour now, and I am totally okay with staying here and chatting if this is helping you. But yeah, hashtag quarantine sewing challenge. Knitting is a great thing right now. I'm not a knitter. My mother is a great knitter, and my grandmother and great-grandmother were great knitters. I'm a sewer. Okay. Yes, calming music. Calming music is a really easy thing to do that just lowers your anxiety level really quickly. Oh, Adele Weiss. I finished fixing a friend's quilt yesterday. Fantastic. Today cleaned the whole house. Yeah, I had a friend earlier who was saying, this house is going to be so clean over the next 2 months. So, let's see. Tatting. Yeah, good idea. The hysteria of the whole thing makes me crazy, says Sammy. Oh gosh, we're going really fast now. Let's see. Yeah. One of the things, Sammy's saying, honestly, the hysteria of the whole thing makes me crazy. One of the things I'm noticing is be careful what words you use when you talk about this. If you talk about, oh, for heaven's sake. If you talk about, hang on, excuse me. Moderating at the same time as, oh gosh. Excuse me, sorry. I'm managing trolls. If you, your language makes a huge difference. The way that you use words. So if you talk about over and over again about how this is making me so crazy, it's spiking my anxiety, your brain wants to be right. You naturally, as a human, want to be right about things. So when you keep saying, this is making me crazy, this is making me so anxious, it makes it more, it puts your focus on it and makes it and heightens your anxiety even more. So one of the best things you can do for yourself is instead of exaggerating or saying how anxious it's making you or how it's making you crazy, watch how it feels if you say to yourself, it's sometimes slightly annoying, but it's fine. Yeah, you're creating your own reality. So the words that you use will influence how you feel. It's like the difference between saying you're absolutely incandescent with rage as opposed to saying, yeah, I'm a bit peeved. The words you use will help manage your emotions. The words you use to describe your emotions. So just experiment with how you use language to explain what you're doing, to explain how you're feeling. Yeah, when I'm stressed, I tell myself I can handle this, and I always end up being right. Yeah. When you're, yeah. Yes, the language you use with yourself is very important. Write your own narrative, yes. Perfect. Yeah, the British are very good at understating. Good time to practice meditation techniques, AJ, yeah. Again, Headspace is a great app for that. Yeah, do your favourite things right now. It's a good time to read your favourite book. Not just to read the books you haven't read, but go back and read that favourite book. Do things that make you feel secure right now, make you feel like at home and grounded. Yeah, it's a moment to say I have managed the anxiety before and I can do it again. Oh, fantastic! Blue Goddess says, somebody posted 12 museums you can virtually visit on my Facebook. It's awesome. If you have a link, Blue Goddess, put it in the chat. Yeah, rereading is like coming home. So yeah, think about things you can do that keep the stress level down. And think about things you can do to support other people as well. How can you keep other people's stress level down? Let's see. Yes. Oh gosh. I've started a crochet lace tablecloth. Yes, perfect. Yeah. Self-care time. Yeah. Pam, I'm realising that I'm a bit paralysed. Worrying about family far from home, yet better off not in our hot zone. Ailing with a cold myself, trying to disconnect from the news and do some sewing. Yeah. Pam, let's have suggestions. Paralysed is a very strong word that's going to, again, ramp up how worried you are. What word could Pam use instead of paralysed to talk about feeling a bit powerless? You could use a sort of more light-hearted word, like, I'm a bit stymied right now. It's a very British word, I don't know whether that's going to make sense. But do you see how you can use stuck? Yeah, I'm a bit stuck. I've got to pause to consider other options. Seb is worrying about people and family back in Bolivia. Healthcare is abysmal. It may well be. What word can we use instead of healthcare? Yes, what word can we use instead of abysmal? It's very easy. it's very easy to change your language to just bring down the panic. It's not to understate it and deny when things are serious. But you can say, like Sejay says, you can say, I'm concerned, and not, I'm freaking out. Recalculating, that's a good word. Unfortunate. Yeah. Flummoxed. Suboptimal. That's one of those understatement. Yeah. Poor, underfunded, struggling. Yeah. I mean, healthcare authorities all over the world, whatever country you're in, I think they're all going to be struggling a little bit. And that's why we need to flatten the curve. So, yeah. Reframing. That's it, Pam. Yes, reframing. So you have a lot of control over how you feel in how you frame how you're feeling. Excellent, Sarah. Sarah stayed home from work today because she has a cold and doesn't want to infect anyone. Good idea. Good idea. Kerfuffling. Yeah. And I mean, this is all advice you can give to other people as well. You can pass it on. You know, if you have a family member who tends to get a bit panicky and overstate things, I mean, right now, I can imagine that some of you have family members who just have a habit of overstating things and getting very anxious. And in a way, it can be a good idea not to help them reframe it, but to think what's going on underneath that. Why are they getting panicky? If there are people who kind of get panicky, sometimes there are people who get a bit panicky. It's almost like they're looking for attention. And that's a very negative way of looking at it. You've got to look under that and say, it's not necessarily that they're looking for attention. It's more like they're looking for validation. I'm worried right now. And you can say to them, look, I get it. It's not an easy situation. You know, do you need a virtual hug? But you can support people and kind of look underneath those extreme emotions and say, it's okay, we're all in this together. Yeah, it's recognizing negative self-talk. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Leon, we're all understanding, yes, we must understand we're all of us taking in what's happening in our own way. So yeah, we're all going to deal with it in our own way, but I think the important thing is to stay connected. Stay connected online, at least. Stay connected on the phone. Make sure you're checking in with people. And, you know, that's what I'm doing. So I think we're going to wrap this up soon. We've been on for nearly an hour and a half. But just look after yourselves right now. Look after the people you love. And think in terms of, how can I help? Yeah. Grace says something beautiful here. If they're looking for care and attention and validation, then give it to them. Yeah. People are panicky right now. People are panicky right now. And it's a good time to, you know, be the change you wish to see in the world. This is a good time when you can be a light. When you can support other people, you can be there for people, you can help people to be calm and just enjoy the snow day. Yeah, don't panic doesn't make people panic less, partly because the word panic is in that phrase, but just stay calm, look after yourselves. Stay connected. And yeah, I think we should do this again, don't you? Should we do this again? Yeah. Blue Goddess says, I watched a video about how the fear is making us forget how beautiful life is, to raise our frequency and find the space that comes from that. Yeah. So yeah, do as well as take the precautions you need to take, but also when you look out the window tonight, look at the stars and just remember that there's a whole beautiful world out there, and we are going to get through this. We are going to come out the other side of this, and we can come out of this the other side as a better society and as better people. So be a light, be well, look after yourselves, get some rest, drink lots of water, and make it a time when you can just be grateful for what we have. So, good. I'm glad you feel this is connecting you. Let's do this again. I'll let you know. I'll put posts on Instagram and on YouTube when we do this again. But yeah, I think this was good for us. So, good. Yes. Yes, Venus very bright in the western sky right now. That's good info. Okay. Hello, Ninanella. Okay. Yeah. So be a light in the world, look after yourselves. And those of you on here there are some of you on here who have your own audience. In fact, all of you do, because you're all on social media. What can you do for them to make them feel connected and to make them feel like they're seen and loved? It's a good time to be a leader. It's a good time to become a leader. Think about how you could be a leader with your own community and your own audience. All right, so it's 1:22:04. Of course it's 22 minutes past. And we will do this again. Stay safe, everyone. Look after yourselves. Stay calm. Enjoy the snow day. I'll see you soon.